Testing, testing sound. Hello, hello. I hope I'm live. Let's see. YouTube. Okay, there it is. Testing, testing sound. There it is. Alrighty. Hey guys, welcome to another stream. Really appreciate you always joining in, even those that are catching the playback. I see that my playback numbers are, a lot more than the live viewers. I would tell you all to, be in the live show and ask questions and things like that, but do whatever you feel is comfortable. And I hope this does help you in terms of the information that I put out there. Tonight's show is named Documentation, Depression, and Functional Frustration. I try to be a little bit creative with some of these titles, but essentially, I'm having a hard time with Azure Blob Storage and its documentation. I'm not showing my face tonight. I wanted to keep it focused on the code, and I'll talk about a couple other things. But before we get into everything, it's a pretty cool picture here. I actually downloaded this one. Omir Tonk, I think is how it says. That's it's on ArtStation here. A story of unnecessary things too. So it's like you got like two dragons in the background. The guy's riding a ram. So I mean, and that's not a ram truck. That's a straight up ram. Like you could use its horns, as like the things that they hold on to. I think I don't know what they call them. I don't know what they call them. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then this one's pretty cool too. Like second one, it looks like a demon with a one horn cut off. I guess this is like Hellboy got a spear through his skull. And the guy's like fishing off of it. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I think I already downloaded this one, but let me make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just download that one again. But I do like that picture. That's a pretty cool picture. It's really cool there. As I always say, find ways to enjoy yourself. I actually probably have a little video coming out, just like me sitting on my patio and there's like a hummingbird flying around, like which is freaking cool. I didn't know how small they. Whoa, there's a dude hanging, or who got hung. That's oof. Oof. But uh, what I yeah, the hummingbird. That was a pretty cool thing that I saw. I think it was just yesterday. Took a video of that, so that should be coming up pretty soon. But it's just really cool. Just being able to sit down, relax, and just actually look at the things that you enjoy, and that helping you throughout your day, helping you relax, stay stress free as much as possible. It's always take time to decompress and be with yourself. Actually taking time to, even if it's just looking up at the ceiling, or getting to a quiet area or walking away from everything and, finding, whatever is peaceful for you. So whatever that is, I hope you're doing more of it and staying stress free as best as possible and staying mentally healthy along with physically healthy. All right. So on my walk, or one of my walks today or yesterday, I forgot which one, but I was thinking about just ways to improve the quality of content for the channel. I will say that I need to get better with doing more research, reading more articles, and putting that information out there in terms of, retirement investment videos, in terms of like, okay, giving you guys better information, more well-read information from professionals and things like that. And I hope what I provide so far is decent enough, at least, but I want to provide better than that. Decent is not good enough. I want to do more for you, all of you. Um, so now looking at also GitHub, I might even do a video on this probably next week. But I want to start building out my GitHub a little bit more. So doing research on bettering my GitHub and making it actually look hey, I know what I'm kind of doing. I know you guys see the coding and everything like that, but it's just like, okay, well, what can we do in terms of, something like this right here, where we can actually provide, or I can actually provide a better space in terms of, in terms of like getting information out there. I'm probably going to start using GitHub Gist or Gist. I don't know how they pronounce it, but GitHub Gist. Probably write a couple articles here, and this is something that my good friend Jermaine, he was just like, yeah, man, because you were talking about documentation frustration, And he was like, yeah, man, maybe what you can do is actually provide a way to get that information out that actually puts it all into, a very concise, straightforward document, and provide better documentation, or documentation that is not, uh, all over the place, like your Microsoft documentation, which your Microsoft documentation is usually pretty old. It's usually, I think the right word would be disjointed or just disconnected. So you can put your code out there, but to be honest, all the stuff that's in there, or all the stuff that they have, sometimes it's just old articles, old information. There's the Node.js module, Azure dash storage blob, or blob storage. And then there's the at Azure / storage dash blob. So it's just like, okay, which one do I follow? And then you find out that the Microsoft Azure Blob Storage actually has different versions to it. So they have like a 2020 06 20 or something like that, which is the latest version of the API. So, but you can actually use different versions of the API. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but how do we know that right off the bat? Like, you have to do some digging for that type of stuff. Now, the Azure Blob Store, or the at Azure / storage dash blob library, abstracts a lot of that away, so you don't have to see or deal with that. And it works off the latest version as I know it. I don't know if it works off older versions. Maybe you can set older versions, but it pretty much works off the new version by default. And that's nice, but it's just like you have to figure all this stuff out. So I want to actually build out this gist here, and start putting code in here, start putting code for using the ClickUp API as well. I've been using ClickUp for a couple months now for my day job, and been using its API. And I want to actually put out some of the code here on my site here, or on my GitHub. After I just need to sanitize it, and also make it where it's like reusable by other people and things like that, and showing like all the different async functions, and at least adding some description of what those functions do. So that's one thing I do want to do. All right, so let's get into the first, the first, oh God, I hate this so much. The first issue, or the first portion of the title, documentation depression. So I've been spending days trying to go through the Azure SDK for JavaScript for blob storage, and literally you have to do, not even you could say it's dumpster diving, but it's not really dumpster diving. It's just code diving, and you have to literally go through the actual source code itself, and then figure out all the different functions, like delete if exists. And what's nice about GitHub, and this could be like a course in just using GitHub, but what's nice about GitHub is like delete if exists. So now you know that you have this function. The function that I was looking for is upload. I think it's upload. What it turned out to be. There we go. So I wrote a function, and that function uploaded text information, right? So I had to kind of rewrite the function today and add some other features, and add some other checks in terms of sanitizing and actually producing errors, and making sure that nothing we don't have malformed JSON objects. So I added I have a function that does pre-processing of the JSON object and post-processing of the JSON object. The preprocessor adds things like status fields and status message, and then also does all the checks, and then modifies that status field and status message. And then the post-processing will go even further and add, or change those status fields, status messages, and also delete the blob content. Because I mean, if I'm uploading a file, I don't want the contents of that file that I'm uploading. All I want is just the file to go through, and I want the response object. So I don't want to output that information. So I take that out with my post-processing step, and I'll put that in the gist as well, or one of the gists into the future here. But I had to go through, and it took a while to get this, but let's actually step back a little bit. And you can see how long this dang file is. What, 5,300 lines? But a Control F will help you with that. But if I go to Azure SDK for JS, And then I have to go through, I think it's, where was I, samples? No, where was I? I was just there, SDK. All right, and then I have to do, damn it, Mike. See, but okay. So this is a good point here. If you don't have proper documentation, this is what you're going to have to do for very large projects, right? Like you're going to have to actually look through all of this just to find out what you want. So now in this case, I'm in the wrong area, obviously, but I think I should just be going to, yeah, let's see, documentation. No, not documentation. I said like, all right, cool. I can use the how to use. So this how to use, no test, okay. Client galleries, create, or it gives you a little bit of a starter. Okay, that's nice. And this documentation is different than, well, this could be something different, but Azure Identity. This documentation is different than what's on npmjs.com, which is where you can download node modules, get documentation on them, or small documentations, even code snippets in terms of how to use the actual libraries or modules, and then even get links to the GitHub. Now, you can't expect the documentation to tell you everything, but at least tell me the functions that are within it. Have somewhere where I have that list of functions. Now, this could just be me being a noob, if you will. I still would say I'm a noob to programming. I want to say I'm intermediary or intermediate, I should say. But I'm trying to progressively get better. But I notice with documentation, a lot of it is just not like it's not at the forefront. It's not right there in the foreground, ready for you to be used or ready for you to use it or consume it. So, for instance, if I go to TreeStar Systems, one place that I did okay with this, and documentation's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like the easiest thing. Signed in as TreeStar Systems. How do I get? Oh, the get right there. There we go. Just use that. I think it's STEM. And then scripts. All right, cool. So under the scripts, general instructions, you'll see that I have temperature conversion, like a collection of core functions. These are the core functions. Usually I split, like, if I'm doing projects or if I'm doing a project and I have reusable code that I want to actually do, I want to use pieces of it here and there, and I want to reuse it. I'll actually make a MD file within a folder and then describe it a little bit more so that you can actually see what all these different sub functions or helper functions that I've created do and what they produce, and then what they should actually take in. Now, I haven't done this much on recent programs or recent projects or anything like that, but this is something. I've done. This was, how long ago was this? The README. This was almost a year ago now, right? So I did a massive update to startup code and structure, and this is just using my new structure, what we're using with that script that we've been building for the past like month, and hopefully we'll finish that this week, and I'll talk to you guys about that later. But yeah, this is where it's like, okay, it's like, all right, what it does, what it returns. Okay, takes, returns, character list, and it's like you have all this information. Like it gives you a decent representation of what these functions will do for you if you use them. So this is one thing that I did well here, and I'm getting better at. There's also way better ways that you can actually do this in terms of using things like, I think, Swagger Docs, and other documentation tools, portals, sites, and things like that. Like I've used Apiary, APIARY. So Apiary, I use it for ClickUp. They have a version 2, ClickUp's second version of their API should be on there. Their first version is on their website, but that's kind of the weird thing. It's like, I guess they're still using the first version and they still have it out there, and they haven't put it on sunset, so it hasn't actually been decommissioned or deprecated. But yeah, you can see here, it's like, okay, what it expects, what's going to happen, and then what I output here when you're using all of these. So this is kind of what I would like to see. But then I have to deal with things like this. So for instance, I'm not going to go back. I can easily go back and say, all right, cool. I think it's under here. But if I go, I think it's SDK, and then I think it's blob. No. Storage. All right. So I think it's storage, and then storage blob. And then here I had to go to samples and JavaScript and advanced.js. And this is where I finally found, just decent samples, or not even decent samples, samples that got me what I needed to do or got me where I needed to be. So this is one thing that is just like, I had to go through all of that, and I was just there at the page, and I was there, one click, and now it's like, okay, finally we're back to where we were before in terms of the documentation. So this is the type of stuff that kind of pisses me off, where it's just like, are you serious? Like, why did I have to go through all of that just to get to this little piece here? And this is documented fairly well. Once you finally get here, it is nice. It tells you what the function is and everything else and how to use everything. It gives you a taste. It gets you started. I will say that. And then after that, and when I say that, I am being a little bit picky and jaded and spoiled. It doesn't give me the exact way I would do it, but it gives me a good way to start. So if I look here, what I was looking for, I can do uploads, and then I would upload, text data and everything else like that and fill it. That's good for, a text file, a JavaScript file, but, or even HTML, where you can just read it in just about any text editor, because it is just basically a text file with a different extension, and that extension is just interpreted differently, but it's pretty much just text. But a file is usually a binary file of some sort, and may not be an actual exe or MSI or an actual binary or .bin file, which in some cases bin files or some bin files are, actually, no, I'm not going to say that because I think that's wrong. But it's not like, say, for instance, a whole, like an actual, what they would usually consider a blob, or it's not an executable or anything like that. But how can I do that for regular for those files, those exes, those other larger files and things like that? Well, finally, after days and days of searching, I was able to find blob client.upload file. Yay! And I kind of found this by just looking around a little bit. If I go back here and I look through, there's like I think it was like basic.js. And then if I wanted to do upload, yeah, so like this is if I wanted to upload like a regular, a piece, the content would be just a string, and then I would upload that into the file. Like I would give the file a name, and then upload, and then fill that actual file itself, or inflate that file, or hydrate that file with just a string. So I made two different actual functions because of this. I did create blob string and then create blob file, which is fine because I take two different types, which is a string or a file. So I have like functions and sanity checks and stuff like that built around it, just for the app at my day job. So it's like, got that. That's great. Like, but how do I do a file? And it's like, all right, cool. Looked around, advanced.js, and then I found upload and then file. And I was like, oh, thank God, the holy grail. So finally found that today. And what's nice about with GitHub, it'll give you all the other references throughout the entire project, which is really nice, especially when all these things are linked. And you can see the same thing when you're working with things like Visual Studio Code as well. But with this, you can see, I could do all the types of other stuff here too as well. But with this, you can see that I can, the only thing I don't like, again, this is like, I still have to find this, but it gives you options. Like you can pass an object full of options, which is really nice. Even the on progress event, it's like I can actually take that on progress event. it is a function, or it's a function that produces something here, and a response of some sort, and that response is the bytes in terms of upload. So it actually gives you an upload progress of uh, of the file itself. So, you're saying block size is 4 times 124 or 1024. So it's like a 4 meg block size is what this equals out to. And then if you wanted to do concurrency in terms of like multiple streams in terms of uploading to the service itself, you can do that. And you can actually limit those. So if you have like limited bandwidth or resources or limited cores, so that you can't split that across all those cores, you can actually just cut down the concurrency. I'm just kind of saying that because based off of like my previous experience with that type of stuff. So, um, yeah, my previous experience with that type of stuff. So I don't really know for sure. And again, this is where I want to actually look at the documentation here. But it tells you a little bit here. So parallel uploading with that module in Node.js runtime is only available in Node.js, so which is great because that's what I'm using. This is all backend API stuff. And then from here, you can actually console log, hey, this is done once everything is done. And then this is all in an async function, so you can actually do your awaits and wait for this, and then you can actually have it run somewhat synchronously. So it's like I can see all these things, and knowing how all this stuff breaks down. Oh, I have a try catch block here. So all right, cool. If there's an error or anything like that, so we don't stop the entire daemon or the entire script from running, we can actually catch that error, output it, maybe output return an unsuccessful or a failure, and change the status message, things like that. Like all that stuff I can actually do as I'm looking and breaking all this down. But this was it, like I found this function, the upload file function, and then a file from local path. So that's really cool. And then you can actually do that from upload to stream. So this is nice because like as the data comes in, you can actually upload it directly to the service. So your API acts as somewhat of a middleman. Just Hey, Richard Dixon, I appreciate that, man. Doing some coding and studying right now. We'll watch the replay. Richard, man, I appreciate that, man. I always appreciate you come through and showing love, man. Good luck on your studies, brother. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions or anything like that, I do want to probably do a session with you guys, where if you guys wanted to actually ask questions or anything like that, like just do a session on that. It might be short though, because we have some hardcore people, but there's not a lot of people. So, but that might be something where maybe I should collect questions. That'd probably be a better way of doing it, and then we can research and answer those and go from there. But anybody else watching, I really do appreciate you. Actually, how many people do we have watching? 2 watching, so it's me and Richard. Thanks. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the people that actually showed up, did a quick like. That's really awesome, guys. I appreciate that so much. All right, so what's it called? And then you could do an upload stream. So when I look at this and I see upload stream, so it says create read stream, and then you can actually stream a file to an API or something like that. Maybe I can do this from the API, use it as a middleman, does all the authentication stuff for me, or even writes the Gabe, I'm watching too. Hey man, I apologize for leaving you out, man. I apologize for leaving you out. Like it shows me who's watching, because I watched a YouTube stream just in case there's anything going on or messing up. But uh, so I always think I'm the one. Like when it says one watching now, I think it counts me, but maybe it doesn't. And you got Black Air Forces. That's. Listen, man. I don't want you like. Please, Black Air Forces is an ominous sign, bro. Just be careful out there, bro. Don't do anything crazy, okay? Black Air Forces kind of scares me. But yeah, it's always a funny joke when people talk about Black Air Forces. So with something like this, you have the upload stream. Oh, and also Richard Dixon, Gabe A. I really do appreciate you guys following me on GitHub. I followed you back. So stay tuned for some of the stuff I'm going to be doing on GitHub in terms of the gist and stuff like that I'm going to be putting out. And if you guys have any questions on that, I'm going to try and do more with GitHub itself and do more there. Yep, a new avatar change. All right. But so yeah, if you guys have any information or anything that you guys want to talk about in some of the stuff that I put in gist, just let me know. But okay, so in this case, I mean that's pretty much it. And I need to go through this this whole this advanced.js and start looking at a little bit more. Start looking at it a little bit more and start getting to some of these other functions as the project progresses. I'm trying to build an Electron app that does an evergreen Electron app that actually uses the API or the uses blob storage and allows me to download things via the public side. But then, okay, how can I upload to the non-public side and go from there and do all types of other stuff? So I will be going through this a little bit more. All right, but yeah, these are the files that you have to go through. I mean, like this is crazy. It's like 5,000. Yeah, this one's 5,095. This is another one. And it's just, hats off to them. These are like big, huge projects where they're going through and they're doing the work. Also, a nice thing here, if you use the at param, it tells you a little bit about that, and it's also a way of documenting or describing some of the things that will go into a function. And these things come in handy when you're using IDEs like Visual Studio Code. So when you're hovering over a function or something like that, or autofills a function for you, these at params and some of this information here, because this is TypeScript, yeah, .ts. So this is TypeScript. So you can, put in this information and, you could tell it, hey, it's strict about being a string. This is a string in terms of the parameter. But then in terms of the parameter being described and having a little bit of a description when you're hovering over certain functions, I can actually look at this. Yeah, if I actually look at this, click on it, and then get more information about it. So this is, well, this is not exactly what I was talking about, but if you do this in Visual Studio Code, this information where it says parameter name, the file name, contents, the file contents to be uploaded. So all that information will be there. That's really nice, and that's a really nice way of documenting, putting proper documentation into your project. So that's what I had to deal with today. I always take the first half hour or first bit of time to talk more about things like this and some of the frustrations that I've gone through and the things that I've been researching and working on. All right, so let's go ahead and close all this down. All right, we might need that later, so we'll minimize. So this project we've been working on for probably the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 streams. Hasn't been 10 streams yet, but I want to push to finish this week. I don't think there's anything major that we have to do more into this, and I might be just shooting myself in the foot by saying that. But now we're to the point where I should be making all the directories and doing all the other stuff, and then uploading all this stuff to GitHub and starting the boilerplate portion of it, or starting an actual boilerplate app and getting it set into GitHub. I shouldn't need to do a lot of crazy stuff to this, I believe. I mean, we're going to be working on that. Let's use our handy dandy little thing here. So that's Alt down arrow in Nano, and it allows you to just like skip from like function to function. All right, so do Git. All right, so with Git here. All right, so what we worked on last time is the visibility portion of it and setting the visibility of the repo to public or not public. Let's open this up in another window. All right, cool. All right, so let's go to, just gonna on the other window, I'm just going through my repo here. Or look at my repositories. Node.js boilerplate. I think I did. Yeah, okay, erase the other ones. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and recreate those. So I think we figured out last week if we do shift. Oh, yeah. So if we do the shift and up arrow, we can select multiple lines, and then we could do something like Alt 3 to uncomment and comment multiple lines in Nano. You guys probably don't use this. There's probably better key. There's different key bindings in Visual Studio Code to do the same thing. But things like that make it a lot easier, especially if it's a lot of lines. Let's see here. Repo visibility. So I think we tested our visibility and create visibility Y. All right, so we tested our visibility. You know what? Let's do this. Instead of guessing, let's run it. So primer.sh, and this should just take our visibility in. All right, we could do private, public, internal, internale. That is wrong. Good. Internal. All right, cool. So it creates internal. All right, good. So that's all we need there. And now we just have to integrate that part into the rest of the code here. So for instance, this is our line that actually makes our repository and sets different things. So we're going to put the visibility variable there. Get rid of that line because that's our test line. We're also going to go ahead and uncomment these lines of code here. Alt 3. So now that we have that, this should work. Oh, so I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Let me just increase the font there for y'all. If you guys ever see that where it's like, hey, the font's too small, can't read it, or something like that, but let me know, please. And also, I apologize for the quality. I probably need to get like a 1080p camera or something like that, so I can start producing better or high quality streams. I think I have to probably just like pay for. I'll probably do it this week. Pay for StreamYard. Call it a day because I'm using it and I want things to look good. All right, so we'll go ahead and save that, run it, boom. All right, so enter the full path of your GitHub token file. In this case, I think we have it in root and then gh. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't have anything. All right, cool. And then enter our visibility. I'm going to press enter for public. And it does nothing. Okay. Oh, crap. All right. So for us to do the rest of this as well, first off, let's uncomment it here. All right. So project description. But for us to do the rest of this, we're going to have to run the whole thing. So let's go ahead and run the gauntlet here. System dependencies we will not do, so we'll comment that out. And we'll just uncomment the do prompts. And when you're working with bigger projects, you can shut things like this on and off as you need to. When you're running it, you can also set up your development environment different from your production environment. So your development environment, all your files might be just like human readable, unminified. But then when it goes into development and it rolls everything up for you and makes it a deployable package or a deployable, set of files or anything like that, it might go through and minify everything for you and create a very small package that can be easily deployed and also read, because with a lot of these languages, when the computer reads them, it's different than when a human reads them, because when the computer reads them, things like line breaks or things like semicolons to denote the end of the end of a function or end of a line or something like that in JavaScript, all that stuff's interpreted and read properly. So, and then essentially you can actually create a file where you don't need any spaces in there unless it's totally necessary. In some areas, like a for and then space open parentheses. But other than that, you wouldn't really need it. So you can actually have things in there that'll uncomment, comment this out, so on and so forth. I haven't learned that yet. I've seen it. I am not that sophisticated with that type of stuff, but those things are out there, and I want to guys kind of like let you guys know the possibilities of that. All right, so let's go ahead. We've already saved the file because we can see that it wrote that many lines, so that's good. The way Nano works is if I make a change like that, that should actually well, okay, it didn't do it, of course. Of course it doesn't do it, you know, because it sees that I'm actually, you know, doing a stream in front of a whole bunch of people. Thanks a lot. Freaking Nano usually disappears, by the way. All right, so let's go ahead and run it. So project name, Obfuscate 042721. And then what's it called? Live streaming stuff. And for the description, system ID, we'll call this WC0. Enter the application's production port number 2, 3, 4, and then enter the base installation directory. We'll just leave it at opt. Oh, okay. So look at that. That's a problem because it should be looking at the opt directory and doing that. So always something. It sucks when you think you fix something or everything's good, and then you have to like go back. So that's why you do all these like various runs and everything else like that. Because for whatever reason, it doesn't want to take the baster. So enter a valid baster. Wow, not baster. Okay. And that could be syntax because I noticed that earlier when we copied this line last week, that we're having a problem here. So that's something that that should be that should have been the fix for the problem there. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's run it again. Valid numbers. Copy and paste that stuff. Live streaming stuff. All right, port numbers 3, 4. MongoDB. Oh, okay, it's 5. Oh, that was actually for the. That's why I was like wondering why it's not asking for another port. Urinary operator expected. All right, so line 338. I was also thinking, like, while I was walking on one of my walks, like, I could have just done this in Node.js. It would have made my life a little bit easier. I don't have to do this in Bash. So the reason why I do it in Bash is because with Bash, it's like a low-level system language. Also, it's a great language to start in terms of sometimes you can't install PHP. You can't install Python on a system. You don't have root access, and the administrator won't give you any type of any further access to the system itself, and you have to do things on the user level. So it's good to learn Bash and go through and bump your head on all these things. Now, with that being said, though, if I wanted to just do a really quick like primer to this script, the way it would have worked is I would have ran the script to do the initial installation for Node.js and all its dependencies that I'm going to need. And then with Node.js, then I would have had another Node.js script that would have ran, that would have been executed. So the way you write a Node.js script is, I think it's like colon. It's hold on, 2, 3. Let's see, and then let's nano test. Let's do nano t. So if I wanted to write a Node.js script, I'll be doing like hash symbol or pound symbol, and then the exclamation point there. That is called the shebang. And then you'll do like bin node, right? And then I can actually write that as a node script and then just run it. As long as I have the node runtime on there, then I can execute that script as long as it also has the right permissions on there as well, or execute permissions on the system. So I can just do bin node and then run it there. Also, I could have just written the script like blah, 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 and then node script I wrote .js runt, and then it would have ran as well. So like that's two different ways, the contents of script I wrote JS. Boom. All right, so that would have been the contents of the file, and then I would have just ran it there. I could have it use inquire, the inquire library, which is really nice, and then I can have it ask all these different questions and everything else like that. That might be something that we do much later on. I want to kind of get off of this right now, because I'm sure, like, it's educational. You guys can listen to me and stuff like that, and we can go through these things nice and slow. But at the same time, like, yeah, I even want to get onto something else. So I want to finish this sucker up this week and actually start having it inject files and do all the polishing. Probably this would be the Thursday stream might be the last stream that we actually still work on this same script, and then we move on to working with the Coinbase API, which is kind of the start of all of this, and even setting up like MongoDB and setting up a server and all that other stuff, and all the stuff that I have to go through with that. And that should be like, if we finish all this for next week, like just setting up the server next week will be like, or the next two streams, next Tuesday and Thursday stream would just be setting up the server, getting it right, and then working out any issues or anything else like that. We may have to touch the script again or something like that, but that might be something I just do off camera and just fix whatever and take note on that. But I have interesting content for you guys, I think, so hopefully, thanks for bearing with me here. So we'll just exit out of this, choose no, Control A twice, and that'll get us back to our original window here. And it says expecting a urinary operator. Urinary operator expected equals on line 338. So if I wanted to actually move around to an actual line number, I can do Control Shift. I think this is dash. Yeah, it should be dash, not underscore. Control Shift that, and then 338. Okay, so why didn't you get what you expected? Like the urinary operator's there. It's not like an equal. It's not assigning. This is a comparison. What the fudge? Like, what did you think? What do you think you're gonna get? Urinary operator expected. All right, let's just Google this real quick because I don't get it. And that's kind of the hardest part sometimes. You just deal with this stuff. Oh, all right. Well, again, this is why it's good to take those little mental breaks. And you like looking at this. It's like, okay, a wolf holding a knife. It's like, okay, what the hell is this wolf doing? Like, how? What in the reality? Urinary operator expected. It took me a while to find, but note that if you are right, there we go. It's a spacing error. It looks like, okay, well, hold on. Let's look. Let's actually look at it. It took me a while to find, but note that if you have a spacing error, you will also get the same error. Okay, app. So is there an extra space? As always, setting X debug variable helps to find the issue. Set X. Okay, set dash X. I don't. Someone bequeathed this bug to me in a build script to save me some time. Okay. Somebody gave it to you. Okay. Try assigning a value before use it in an if statement. The error will disappear. Huh. Oh, okay. Huh. So let's see here. Baster should already have an assignment at the top. Right there. So I don't know. Oh, 338. I don't know why that makes sense to actually do that. Let's split the screen there. As a string, you can also set. Okay, no. A lot of people voted that down, so that's a shit-tastic answer. bash, cancel. Bash unary operator expected. What does it mean? It's an error that occurs when bash identifies a line in your script that contains a binary operator that is not applied to two arguments. When this happens, bash assumes that you want to use a unary operator instead and raises unary operator expected error. All right. This is Monday. We'll start. So let's find the principal. Let's follow this principle. Okay, when I run the script, I get the following output. Now let's update line 3 of our script from to. After that, this change of variable day empty. Let's run. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess I could fix that by just setting it. So I could already default it to opt. All right. So by defaulting it to opt, if baster I mean, I'm already doing it there, though. That's the thing that kind of like, wait, did I spell it the same? Baster opt. All right, cool. 3.8. So now I don't really like that because I almost have to use two different variables because baster at the top is different than me reading a line that says baster here. Right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a problem with that. So let's do this. Oh, no, but that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem, and I'll probably run into the same thing because I want to do something like this: baster input, right? And then baster input. If I do the same thing, I'm just doing the exact same thing. So if baster input equals nothing, but let's do this. So if baster input equals nothing, well, baster. Actually, let's run this. Yeah, okay. So it still does it. All right, so. So with baster, validate the input and keep, okay. So this validates the input. So let's do this. Take out the input. So we'll take out the input. We'll assign baster /opt as the string, and then, excuse me, hold on. Sorry about that. So we'll assign baster as the actual string. Or sorry, we'll assign /opt as the actual string, which will represent the actual directory, and then we should still have our test to see if it's a valid directory, and then go from there. Now, and then if it's empty, it will say, hey, listen, baster is opt. So let's test though by making putting something else for baster, right, and reassigning it to something else. All right, cool. Write that. Kill this process, right, and then obfuscate live stream stuff. Okay, let's make this easier to copy. Make this one long string. All right. System valid ID, so WC0. 2 plus 3 plus 4. Give me more. And then we'll do O. So that's not a valid directory, as it shouldn't be, right? So then urinary operator. But baster. If blank. So in cases like this, we add a whole bunch of echoes. So we echo baster. It's just like when you're dealing with what's it called? When you're dealing with JavaScript, put in a whole bunch of console logs. It'll tell you what you're fucking up. So I want to see if baster changes throughout any of that. And this sucks because we have to run this whole thing, and because I don't want to comment all this stuff out. Oh. All right. 2, 3, 4. And then what do I want to do? I want to do, let's do O. So the echo is O. And then let's do nothing. So by it being nothing, I didn't reassign it. Oh, okay. So it's showing as nothing, of course, because I pretty much invalidated it by putting in nothing, right? So it's like, okay, if it's doing something like that, then if that's the case, what we do is, well, no. This is the problem. So sometimes the problem that you even have when you're programming something or writing code is that you think ahead too much. I think I'm thinking ahead a little bit too much. I need to say screw it and do it. So let's get rid of these echoes because actually no, let's leave the echoes. Baster input. Screw it and do it. All right, so baster opt. Okay, actually let's read this. Bash urinary binary operators. Now you're seeing it makes more sense. Places day with its value. That is in the first example Monday, so the line becomes this expression is true and echoes if statement. But what happens if the value of the variable day is empty? How to fix bash unary? Okay. Oh. Huh. Wait. The variable in comparison with double quotes. There we go. Oh. Okay. All right. That makes sense. 'Cause I've seen this before in terms of syntax. So it's a bash. So no, we're gonna leave that. Oh no, it's good. Actually, it's everything gets double quoted. So also thinking ahead, but then not reading ahead. Because if I would have read a little bit more, I wouldn't have had this problem. All right, cool. I think that should do it for us. Yeah. Oh, isn't this fun, guys? Doing this? It's freaking absolutely freaking nerve-wracking. Not even nerve-wracking. It's just freaking annoying. Is what it is. Scripts like this, you really can write in just about a day. You also kind of got to know what you're doing. But I do most of this stuff on stream with everyone, so you guys can see me do it, and it's not some smoke and mirrors behind the scenes stuff, where stuff is like one of those cooking channels where they make 3 different versions of the same pie at different stages. It's like no. There's no 3 different versions of this code. There's one version. If it's screwed, it's screwed. All right. So if I put in nothing. All right, cool. No, that's not cool. So that is enter a valid entry. The reason why it's doing that, let's take this. I put, see, I went crazy with the double quotes and look what happened. I don't think it's actually comparing that properly. So it should just be filling in the variable here as opposed to the variable as a string. So, all right. I'm streaming stuff. WC0, 2, 3, 4. And this is why I talk about like mindset and patience being a very, very big factor in the things that we all do, or just totally freaking losing it because this is total bullshit and I hate it. But whatever, hey, just calm down, Michael. Calm down. It'll all work itself out. But yeah, you do have to be patient with this stuff and just really go through every bit of it and find out where the issues lie so that you can actually make the necessary changes. Enter a valid directory opt. So what I do want to do here is where it says enter a valid directory, I want to see what baster is before and after. Oops. And after once it gets into the while loop. So I'm going to do actually echo before. Don't need to do this, but I am. After. All right, let's go. Once more into the breach, dear friends. I think I said that right. 2, 3, 4. Oh shoot. No, whatever. And then default is opt before a while. Yeah. So it works. Okay. Well, that's good. So it got through all of our prompts here. Let's see if there's anything missing. No. Nope. And then it does Git. Oh, why did that? Hold on. Well, let's take out our echoes, run it again. Saying run it again reminds me of like when I played football. I remember one day, oh God, man, it was like the longest practice ever. And we were like, yo, what the hell? I was like, yo, coach, man, what the hell is all this? He's like, run it again, run it again. And then we were just like in the huddle, run it again. He started laughing. I think I vaguely remember that story, but I remember I was just like, yo, coach, man, at least use some lube when you're fucking us over like this. Oh man, I miss football. I miss coaching too. It's another thing about like even when I talk about MGTOW retirement, just getting back to like getting to a point where you have that time freedom, and you can just go ahead and hold on, let's run this. You get that time freedom to where you can actually utilize the time the way you want it more so. I can go back to coaching high school sports and stuff like that. It's fun, like you can't do it anymore yourself. So, but it's also nice to help others do it. And that's kind of what it's all about after a while. If you really care about your community, you'll do what you can to help it. Well, with your own bias and agenda, if you will. But hopefully you touch 1 or 2 people and help them along the way. All right, so default, we're going to send it as opt. All right, cool. That worked. So in this case, I'm going to do root, and then I'm going to do, I think it's like gh auth file. Takes that, does what it needs to. All right, ask me what my visibility is. I'm going to do public. Hey, all right, cool. So it created it. Let's see here. Asheville. Been watching a lot of Asheville. That's like a really cool like series. It's this guy about he's running his business and he does like YouTube vlogs on it. All right, let's look at what we got here. What? Live streaming stuff, Obfuscate 0427. So now I can actually start doing things like pushing a README into there. It already initialized everything, updated everything. Probably even have it to where doing things like putting the initial comment and all that other stuff. The script runs pretty nicely, I think. It does all the other stuff. So for instance, let's put this over here. So it does all the other stuff. If I do, where is that? I think it's do it the wrong way. Yeah, so runs all the CD commands, change it to the base directory, inits the project. As you can see here, I do a CD to the full project name, as opposed to just like, since I'm already in the base directory, and then just, taking this out and doing the project name. No, we don't do that. I don't like doing that. I usually like to use absolute pass for stuff like this because it does help. So where necessary, I'll put in the absolute path. Also, I just noticed there's no need to add this leading / because Baster already has it in there. So thankfully, Linux didn't. I didn't screw something up in the actual file system, and I was able to do that because essentially what I was doing or writing out in that command was this. So that's why I got rid of that leading / and that's good. Like when you're looking through your code and you're just looking at it, and it's like, all right, cool, that looks okay, good. Whoa, why is that there? And then go from there. Also, let's check its visibility. So let's open an incognito window here and repositories. Yeah, and it's public, so that's cool. So it's empty repository. We can set it to public. Let's go ahead and do another one, and let's set it to private. Oh, let's get our code change in there. Primary, and then we are going to do enter project name. So I don't want to deal with errors right now, but there would have been an error if I just did that. Live streaming stuff, WC0, applications production part number 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we're running an opt. Root and then gh auth file does what it needs to, and then I'm going to say private does private. Cool. So that's all right. That's cool because now we're seeing that added remote repository, whatever that is. Oh, it's asking for a username. Why is it asking for a username, my friends? So most likely what it is the auth token that I have and I'm using here doesn't allow me to create private repos. That's got to be it. So if I hold on, let me just take this off screen here. I think I can do. I think it's settings. Yeah, settings, and then I think it's security. No, developer settings. What? Oh, personal access tokens. There we go. Obfuscate. All right, gotta put in my password. Yeah, just great. Where is it? Where is it? Super secret password there. All right. So if I look at my settings here, private, full control of private repositories. Yeah, it looks like I can do private repositories. That should all be there. Writing packages. Wow, I don't know why it allows me to do, why it's not allowing me to do it. Public, admin public of public keys. No. Gist, I can create gist with that. Admin PGP's key. All right. Why is it asking me for the? Oh, all right. Well, let's go back to repositories. I'll have to figure that out another time. What? You see that, guys? Username for this. Okay. Star systems. It's asking me for my password. Okay, so all right, let me play along. So the reason why it's weirding me out because it's like, okay, I created a private repository. Our code is successfully executed. Great. Like that looks good, you know, like that's what it's supposed to do. Live streaming stuff puts in the description for me, makes it private. So that's good. Now we're looking at where it's not doing what we need it to. Okay, I could only think it's doing that because I did a private repository, and with me doing that private repository like that, um, it before it can give me this URL, it needs my actual my username and password. Now, what that means is that I can do it and then just kind of skip through that. Like I can just like not do it and then it won't give me this, but it still creates it. That would be considered an error or unclean in terms of like, you know, just doing this and working with it. Maybe there's what do you call it? There might be something where I don't maybe a trigger I can use that won't let that happen. So I don't know. Thinking about it, I'll have to figure that out. But all in all, that looks pretty good. I'm not too displeased with that or anything like that. It is something that yeah, we can refine that a little bit better and make that work a little bit nicer. But yeah, all in all, I'm okay with that. We can probably even do a delete function or something like that later on, but let's not worry about that now. I'd have to go through and delete all these repos. All right, cool. So now that we have the repo in place, we're gonna need to, what the hell did I just do? What? Echo private? What the fudge? What the fudge is that? Why did it echo private like that? Oh, because I was scrolling up and down. I was like, what the hell was that? All right, cool. I'm not worried about that. It's not my actual password there, so that's cool. All right, good. All right, so let's look at this a little bit more and see if we can close this sucker up tonight. I think do git is fine. Let's do a little section here above this. Add a little comment that says to do. Actually, I like to fix. To fix. When setting visibility to anything other than public, the command prompts for credentials. Find a way to resolve that. Or not show. Yeah, because it's like, why is it asking for credentials if it already has the other file, you know, or it has the auth file? Like, is the auth file not being used anymore or something? Like, what the hell is the point of that? So, now let's add files to this, and what we can do is so we in previous let's get, there we go. In previous streams, what we did, let's do it here. All right, good. Get full screen action here. We have all these different files that we're generating. So now what we need to do is, as you can see, I already have that in place where it says like, you know, base dirs, project name, and then all that other stuff, right? So now we're going to actually put these things in place where they need to be. Oh, also before that, our Git command, what we should be doing is also making a couple folders. And we'll do that in the Git command itself. So git init cd to base dir. We'll do all the repo commands here. Actually, we'll keep them separate. Let's keep it clean, keep it separate. So do generate base folders. Ooh, base folders. So in this case, we're just going to make dir, and we'll do project name. And then what's cool is like if you wanted to create multiple directories, again, this is why it's good to go through these, even though this project, even for me, is starting to get boring. It's good to go through these things because you can start looking at how you can create, you could do things in the shell itself. So let's split the screen again, get back to that. If I wanted to do make dir and let's cd to obfuscate there. And then if I wanted to make dir, our base directories are as follows. And you could do this all in one command. Like you can make multiple folders and all of their parents and oh, that's weird. Sorry, seeing something out of my window here. You can make all the parent directories and the subdirectories. So cool. Let's do this. We can do make. I usually have a server folder, and you can do colon, and then again, this is from the perspective that we're in the folder itself in terms of the. Actually, let's see here. Let me see if I have server. I just want to make sure I'm not creating this folder in another step. Nope, I'm not. Good. Alt U E. Okay. So I'm going to create the server folder, and I can actually in most Linux distributions, I would assume, or Bash itself, it should when you're doing make directory, you should have a -p. So if I do make dir -help, I could do a -p, and it says parent, no errors if existing, make parent directories as needed. All right, so well, that's what it means. Make dir -p, and then I can do server. With server, damn, what else I can do? Under server, I usually have. I think I could do make this nested as well. So under server, I have core, controller, view, model, and then even with those, I can have more, but I don't think I'll do that right now. I can do that. So then I can have parentheses in between that, and I can do system. Could do system confs. Because I need a system comps folder because I'm going to be putting a file in there, as you can see, right? And then I might even do like system comps, and then I might do like I think I do like this, and then I can do certs. There's a guy on YouTube I learned this from. It's like the engineering man or something like that, or engineer man. Actually, let me go ahead and find that guy because he's definitely worth it. You guys should definitely be subscribed to his channel. Engineer man. Engineer man. Yeah, this guy's cool. And Bash. So I'm gonna put this video in the definitely gonna put this video in the description here. Let's copy, but I'm gonna first put this in the chat. Definitely go and check this guy's video out. This is where I learned this little thing from in terms of the trick that that I'm about to use here. Essentially with it, so you can see like he has all the different okay, that's a RAM disk. But we're going to show you. Here we go. So here, quickly create folders. So you're creating your parent folder, and then in the parent folder, you can have like all the different subfolders, and then go from there. So it looks like I'm writing this wrong, but we'll see how we can make it work. And the only reason I put in curly braces like this is because this is the syntax used, and I'm trying to create this folder plus other folders underneath it, all in one command. So I think I can do it this way. So, but this is I haven't used this. I don't use this too much, but this is a great way of creating a lot of folders really fast, all in one line. So if you want to do like subsequent folders and stuff like that, and you can even have it to where maybe even it counts up and something like that. You may have like a for loop that has all this in there. So it'll be like sub 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out to 100, and you can create all these folders, all these different structures and things like that by just using the make dir command. And you don't have to use like some high-level programming language. You can use bash and then a simple for loop in bash or something like that, or a while loop, I think. All right, so system confs certs. Let's see what other things I'm gonna need. Base dir system system confs. Yeah, okay. I got the system conf folder down packed. All right. Base dir project. Okay, project.json. I can even go to other things because the user I'm logged in as. All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and see if this even works. Okay. Sorry for the if I startled anybody there, but all right, cool. Let's go ahead. I just didn't think that was actually going to work the first time. Let's do ls-lh, and then yeah, I can see my server and system conf folder. One thing you can do, I think it's big R, and then I can go recursive. Oh, that's bad. I don't want that. You see how it has the certs in curly brackets or curly braces? We don't want that. That's not good. Let's see what else it did. Heads, tags. All right, exclude just the git info. That's the git folder. Server confs. Oh, okay. So it did server and controller, right? So it did all those. So I just had a small syntax error in that last command. Why didn't that work? And it might have done that because it's only one folder that I'm creating. And that's all I needed to do. All right. So let's do that again. Yeah, we have a search folder now. Ran the same command with that -p, and if it already exists, it shouldn't give us a problem. So now we can go ahead and take that, put it in our code. Our Victor project name -p. Let's just do it here. -p. All right, let's get everything in between the curly braces here. Cool. All right, good. So yeah, so that should create our folder structure for us, and then do generate base folders. So now we can add that to the stack here. Oh. Right. Cool. So that's good. All right. So we can generate our PM2. So now we're gonna just inflate those with folders, or inflate those with other things, with data. So let's cd space dash, just like the actual dash character, and then enter. It'll take you to the previous folder that you're in. Let's go ahead and we're gonna uncomment using our shift. We're not gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna uncomment this. Package.json, readme, system vars. All right, cool, all that stuff. We're not gonna do dependencies. All right. So now we just got to go function by function and uncomment where it actually outputs that information. So now we, we're going to generate all these files and fill in any variables from all the stuff that we did previously and all the other functions or in the prompts and the information that we collect or with the information that we collected. And now once that's done, it's going to output that for us. And then I'm just doing final checks as I'm looking at all this. System vars.json. I know the one with the README is going to be different. Project name. So generating a nice README there. Generate README package.json. I did want to add something to this. There is another package that I was working with. It is the MZ package, so modernized package. So let's see here. npmjs.com mz. So with this, this is something that I've been working with recently, and I definitely want to add this to this project or to my future projects. It modernizes functions like the fs command. So for instance, the fs command, usually you have to do callbacks and things like that. It's not like your usual asynchronous commands where you can actually do an await to it and then actually do, or sorry, you can't make it thenable from what I've seen. So this allows you to actually make it thenable. And a couple other things that modernize it. And there's a couple other things in the library itself. So modernize Node.js to current ECMAScript specification. Node.js will not update their API to ES6 Plus for a while. This library is a wrapper for various aspects of Node.js's API. This just brings it, kind of makes it a little bit more quote unquote modern, as it says. But it allows, like, I can assign this whole function, or I can assign this fs.exist to an actual like let function or a let variable. So let whatever the variable name is equal, and then this right here, and then I can return the value using a thenable, and I can return that value, and then it'll be represented with that variable. So that makes things a little bit easier when you're writing some code and make things a little bit cleaner. So you can just have a little bit nicer abstractions in terms of your coding, so that when people read it, it's a little bit easier to read, and also it is easier to easier to read and follow, and then it's also easier to work with in terms of asynchronous code, and then you can work with it in a synchronous manner a little bit easier or better, especially when you're writing it. Yeah, so this right here, what I'm looking for is version 2.7. All right, good. So this is what I'm looking for here. I want to add that. So I don't know where modernize would go, so we'll do here, and it should be MZ, and I think it's like 2.0, 2.7.0, 2.7.0. All right, and up. So that's the latest version of that, I believe. Yeah, 2.7.0. All right, great. Let's make sure I'm not writing this improperly. We'll see it on the other side anyway. But I wanted to add that. And it's kind of the point of this boilerplate. Like, as I go along and I change the way I do certain things, I want every project there thereafter to have the same foundation. Makes it easier for me to code up new projects, work with older projects as needed, spin up new projects, and then in some cases, when I'm working from one project to the next, I have the same structure. If I'm like, the head of the project, for instance. Why did I need this? Modified system ID. Ooh, why did I need that? Put in the SSL stuff there. I know that will be a problem. I will not be running this here. Default test. Yeah, I will not be running this here. I'll actually comment that out. And erase line for deployment. So we'll uncomment for deployment here. And I don't necessarily have to uncomment this for deployment. Yeah, I don't. And I think about it, it's like, okay, uncommented this for deployment. I can keep it the same. I don't have to change anything. And I can have it do this. Static core files, JS. And then what I should have it do is output to, I should output to, the baster. So baster project name, let me just get that here. So I should out there to baster, and this is going to be under the core, and then core.js. So if you do sed-i, it will actually go through the file and edit it. In this case, if I do sed, it'll actually output it to the to standard output, and then you can view it. But I want to take that, pipe whatever is coming from standard output, and pipe that into the actual file itself. So it'll do that actually, and I'll just get rid of this. If anything, I can just always go back. But this is a little bit this makes it reusable and somewhat non-destructive. So project name core. Oh, that was wrong. Server core. Yeah, so I got server core. All right, good. And then /. So server core / core.js. Good. So generate the core stuff. I shouldn't have to output this to anything. And that was the wrong place to put that output anyway. To fix. All right, cool. We got that. The ideal hand. Echo command. Kind of excited about this, guys. I really want to get this done. Maybe we can get it done tonight. We'll see. Usually you're coming up on the 2 hour, hour and a half mark. All right, cool. Doing good on time. Doing some good coding tonight, or getting some stuff done tonight. So that's cool. And getting closer to finishing this portion. The primer. In this case, we'll get rid of this. In fact, it reminds me, modified. I don't know why I needed this. Generate nginx configure. I don't think I needed this for anything. And the reason why I'm deleting without like worrying about it is because I can always go back into the repo and look at the previous commits and then see the version history. So I don't really need that. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's the only time modified is in the file. All right. Good. Where was I? Ooh. Okay, cool. Just about where we left off. Do git. I think we're good on the git command for now. If we need to, we can always add that back. Do generate base folders. We've already put that down there, and there's not much else we have to do on this, I think. Like we generate the base folder, and then with the base folder, I would like, let's cd to the previous directory, run that command again. Under the view, I do want pages, because I use templating, and public. And then with public, I also want some more directories, and I want, I have to do pages. There we go, and that's how I do that. Pages, so public, and I want JS, CSS, images, maybe a downloads folder. No, I don't want the downloads folder. What else? What else do I need in a usual project? CSS, images. But you can see how this command, you could just keep on nesting things over and over again, doing more and more subdirectories just by doing the curly braces. As we saw earlier, if we have, the curly braces here, if we had the curly braces here with only one directory in there, it would actually create the folder name with the curly braces. So we don't want that. So the curly braces are only when you have multiple folders underneath a directory. Hold on. Excuse me. Actually, let's see, because I just muted myself. Let's see if the sound is still playing. No, that's the wrong window. Sound is still playing. Yeah, it is. Good. All right. Okay, so stick with me, guys, for those that are watching. So public, JS, CSS, images, those are the directories that I need the most. I can always add more, so we'll leave it at that. Run it, and ls -r, and then certs confs. All right, public, JS, images. Good. So let's just confirm, though. Scroll back in our history here, public, pages. All right. Oh, so even with that, what we're going to do is under pages, we have some stuff. And usually under my pages, I'll have layouts, layouts, partials, and layouts, partials. Yeah, anything else other than that, just create as I need to. Same thing. All right, so bit of a brain fart there. So layouts, partials. Good. All right, we're good to go. All right, so let's just copy this new bit here. This is how I erase a whole line. I just did the cut command on that. That makes it a little bit easier for me. All right, cool. So generate our base folders. All that's done in our view. All right, let's look at prompts here. And I'll end with this, guys, and I'll think about what else we have to do with this script. Oh, untested code blocks. Let's and get you out of there because we don't need that. We'll not do the system dependencies. We know that's good. That's not something I want to have to test every single time. Do generate nginx conf. We won't generate that. Let's go ahead and though. Let's make sure we won't run it here, but we will go ahead and uncomment that section so it'll actually put it where it needs to, because nginx should be installed. In fact, actually, we'll just go ahead and run it. That's fine. We gotta test everything. So after this, I'll go through and I'll look at all these and make sure everything's good to go. So I know we just went through it all, but let's do it again. So I'm just going to do a Control W, search for that character. So that's uncommented. Alt W to search again. That's uncommented. Good. Where is it? I'm sure it's good. Okay, good. All right, good. Good, good. That's good. Oh, it wrapped. Didn't even notice it. Good. All right, so we're gonna go good here. And let's do cd space dash, and then I'll go to a previous directory. Let's do an rm dash r. I want to say rf for force. Capital R dash capital R lowercase f, and then I'm going to do anything that says obfuscate. Star. Boom. Get rid of them. All right. That should clean up that stuff, and we'll just have to get rid of the repos. We'll also rf first full run and test project. Actually, what's in test project? Oh, nothing. Okay. Boom. Good. All right. So, all right, boilerplate, and let's go ahead and run it. Project name. What do we just get rid of? And we'll do a -3 on this. And then live coding. Ooh, I forgot about that. How are we gonna do this? We'll have to test. Oof. We'll do that next time. What I was thinking about is testing, like doing an initial commit, but we'll do that next time, or I'll just do that off camera. Try to keep these to 2 out. Oh wait, no, we got time. No, we got time. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and look at this. GitHub CLI. There we go. Let's do a comment. Config repo. Let's do a commit. They don't have a commit command? What the fudge? I guess I could just do GitHub commit. Clone, don't create. PR. Let me do repo, clone, create, fork, list, view, run, secret, workflow, SSHK, secret, issue, gist, config, auth, login, API status. So I don't see, if I do issues. Wow, there's no commit. I guess you don't need that because you could just use the GitHub command and call it a day. But workflow, disable, enable. All right, cool. I could just do a git commit, initial commit. Yeah, all right. But where do we put that? That question and more as we go through this. But that makes me think, if I do generate base folders, I could just take that out here and have that be generated in the do git command. Just thinking about that earlier, didn't want to do it, but yeah, I could just do that here. Generate base folders, and then while keeping it in the do git command, I can do a no, I still can't do that. Still can't do that. What I'm thinking about is, after I create the repo, cd to directory, I can generate the base folders. Yeah, I could do git init, project name. Huh. Oh no, the git init. So cd to that. Let's generate the base folders, and then I can bring everything into this too. That's what I'm thinking. But I kind of want to keep them separate, but everything should really be done in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we do our prompts, and then that'll call generate Git or do Git, and then it'll do all the generation of everything here. So take that out. Nginx conf, I'll keep that outside. And I'll do generate base folders and everything else. So everything else will be done here. The do prompts, of course, is still the entry point or the main function. And then gh repo create project name. So this will create the repo. All right, cool. And then once the repo's created, everything's already been generated. Now I can do a git commit, because now I should still be in that directory, in our base directory for our project. So git commit -a -m. Ooh, no, I need to do a git add period, and then git no, we should be doing here in this order, git push. All right, cool. And then -m, and then do initial commit for, and then we can just be fancy and call it project name. All right. We can add the date to it, but that's not really necessary. Or we can add anything else that we need to for this. And then push it. Push it. All right, so do prompts. Great. Oh, what did I just do? I just added an as to it, or an as to it. Do I have anything? No. Ooh, static files. ls static files. Yeah, see, I have some other static files that I need to add in there too. How do I do that? All right, we got time. We're gonna get it done. This is just the tedious part because you have to start adding new stuff. So do generate base folders. These static files, there's nothing to them really. Yeah. So my core.js, my cron job.date.js, oof, cron.js, where does that go? Oh, I forgot where this goes. Static cron JS. Oh, okay, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. I put it in there. Because my past self is a genius. My future self stands upon its shoulder. All right, cool. So let's get this here. I just want to get this string here. One thing we can do here is I can just go through this whole folder and look at everything. So destination is server core. Oh. Don't. And if you just don't do anything to the file, you can just press Control X and cycle through them. So cron jobs.js goes in the core folder, and then controller cron. I'll just have to remember that one. This goes into the server folder. This goes into server controller. All right, and then X. This goes into server. This is service.js, okay. And I'll know the order of this in a second because I'll just do an ls command and it'll show. It's doing all this in alphabetical order anyway, so it's pretty easy to deal with static files, and that's the order it's putting everything else in there. Let's do function. Did I spell function right? Do place don't have to go all freaking fancy with that. Do static files, and then all this is going to do is just output to those different folders. We're going to do a cp command. Yeah, we'll do a cp command, and just do server core. I got a little list here that I started on my little scratch pad, so that's what I'm pulling all this from. That's what I was typing into earlier. So cp server. Oh no, cp. Where is this thing now? This should be in, and then I can do current directory static underscore files. You make sure that's correct. Yeah, just to make doubly sure, we'll go ahead and copy that. And we'll do this again, absolute path. You really can't go wrong with that unless you just have the wrong absolute path. And then, you know, that's kind of your problem. Let's make this reusable. And we got to do this for 5 files actually, because this server.js, or no, this core.js will be handled by that other function that will actually do the use the insertion point to make the changes. That said command with the insertion point and make the changes to it. So we only need to do this for 5 files. No, 2, 4, yeah, 5 files. Okay, great. I can count. 4, 5. All right, so static files. And then I messed up anyway. And then what we're gonna do is server core static file. So that's gonna go to the first one's gonna go to core. No, the first one. Yeah, well, we can make it go to core if we wanted to, but this one should actually be. No, we'll just make it to go there. That's fine. Core, and then we'll make that Cron JS. Yeah. No, we're gonna make that. That's where we go. That's why that was right. Okay. This is why it's better that you write it down, Michael, because your memory's not that great, big guy. All right, cool. Index.js, and then routes.js, and then service. Yeah, that's service file.js. That is not correct, but we're going to do this, and then we're going to make the changes to make everything right. This part I wrote down. Index. So index.js is the entry point for the app to get it started. Cron.js, that is going to be under controller and then the cron directory, which we did not create. And so that means we have to go up here, and then we're going to actually have to do cron. Yeah, so that should work fine. And it's only one directory, so yeah. It's only one directory, so that's the only place we're going to put that. And the reason why also that's like we have to do all this and we're doing it in the Git command before we do our add and commit and all that stuff is because Git won't respect empty directories. It just won't. That's just how it's built. There's really no need to. And you have to actually place a file in a folder in Git. And that's just from me working with it over time. But you actually have to place a file in a folder in Git for it to actually be recognized. So that's just what you got to do. Right, so cron jobs. It's fun stuff, isn't it, guys? You know, I keep on asking that, but I'm just trying to convince myself it is. We're gonna do a cat. No, I don't want to do cat. I'll just nano into it. So server core. Yeah, that's fine. The cron jobs. So the actual cron jobs will be there. And then there's like functions that you have to do that I put in cron.js and I put that in the controller. And this follows the view model control or the view model controller or sorry, model view controller methodology to some extent and just for organization purposes, but it's not exact. I don't use much models or many models, but I will be while using Mongoose in some of my future projects. So with Mongoose, you actually can create models for user, like for different entries into MongoDB. So you can actually create different schemas. So you can have a user schema or an account schema, or in this case, maybe a cryptocurrency schema. And that goes into it that way, or that defines what you're expecting. And then you can also use what they call the joy, what's called the joy library, or part of the joy library. And in the joy library, it actually has like schema validation, which is pretty cool, or actually entry validation, which is really nice. So it has some pretty nice things in that joy library, which I believe, no, I don't have it here. Actually, let's focus on this. Static files. All right, cool. Let's just focus on this first and get this done. And I'll check if I have that joy library in my package.json file there. I really can just do this. Makes it a lot easier. Index.js. Routes. And service. Cool. Static files. Cron jobs. Right. And the reason why we're referencing the current directory is because this is when the script is being ran, and then we use the absolute directory just to make sure that it goes to the proper directory that we want to place all these files in. So you kind of got to play that with Bash. Like when it's running certain sub functions, you can do like cd and then this and then they go from there. But then when it comes back out and it's done running this function, it should be running within the directory, that the same directory that the script is running, or the script itself is running. And this is made to where you actually have to cd to the Node.js boilerplate directory, and then you run it from there. Otherwise, I'd have to do a whole bunch of other stuff just to get the absolute path of the current of the directory where you're running it from, which would probably be a good thing. Again, just sticking with the mantra of just working with absolute path. Okay, so git push. Oh, mouth is getting dry here. So do static files. All right. Where do we want to put this? Do generate. I don't need to do the core.js. Oh man, where do I want to? CP, static files in there. Base folders. Oh, so we have to do it after base folders. We'll just do after core.js. Yeah, we'll do it here. Static files. Ooh, that's going to be a problem here. The reason why that's going to be a problem is with in terms of working with bash, the function does need to be defined beforehand. I want to say it's like, oh, I've seen where it's not done that before. Like a part of me saying that, but then another part of me is like, do you really want to test that? It's like, does it really matter, big guy? Like, let it go. It's okay. All right, so there's that. All right, cool. I think we're good to go. At least get to get started here. And all right. Obfuscate 04. We're almost about to be like 0428 now. 2721-3. And then live stuff. System ID is WC0. Applications production. Okay. 2, 3, 4. And then enter. And then this one I'll do root change. It'll authenticate. Should tell me that it's going to create all those files. Oh, wow. Internet connection issues. So, do I run it and see what happens? Right. No such file or directory. CP stat. So no such file or directory. Why are you in no such file or directory? Static files. So it's doing it based off of the fact that I'm still in there. It created the files. All right, let's read through this real quick and then we'll end it for the night, guys. So first I have internet connection issues, at least so it seems. And then also I'm outputting this dash, this forward slash, this backslash n. So let's get rid of that. It's a new line character and it's not respecting it. And that is because I think I need to be using echo dash E. Yeah, and then it should respect that. All right, so any line with that. So we'll go to every echo line. So I'll just do search for echo and then dash E, echo, no, that's okay. This one, dash E, you just copy paste this. All right. I don't need one there. Huh. I don't have a generate line. Let's just do this. I need the generating package dot. Oh. All right. So that should be good. Same thing here. I need to generate the package.json. Package.json. All right, good. Also, even when I'm doing this, it's only because I'm doing a live stream, but take break, guys. Take breaks. Get up, If there's something that's going on that you can't figure out or anything like that, just take a break. It is totally okay. But usually I would take a break, walk, look around, look at the water, go back to work, maybe get a drink of water or something like that. Not that I still can do it here, but it's like, at least for the water part. But just be sure to take breaks. -E. Let's generating base folders. All right. I like to be a little bit more descriptive when certain things happen. That should be it in terms of the prompts or in terms of the echoes. All right, so that fixes that problem. Now we just have to try and fix where it says these static files, no such file or directory. Now the only thing I can think of is when it's doing this. Oof. So that's a hard problem to solve because usually you're going to put this in the op directory, right? That's where I would put it, but doesn't always work out like that. So if I go down here, how can I figure out which directory I'm in? The way, let's actually see Etsy, Nginx, sites, sites, I think it's enabled. Yeah, so that it created that test file, so that's cool. Let's actually look at that test file, see how that came out. Host WC0, okay, that's cool. WC0 for the chain, all right. Filled in things, filled in our port numbers, as you can see here. Oh, that's definitely not gonna work. Filled in our port numbers, as you can see there. Also our project name, everything is good there. Good, yeah, that's really good. Now I don't want to keep that file, so let's get rid of it. And now that we know it works, I don't need it. So what I want to do is get rid of it. Oh yeah, we do have the Joy library in place. Good. Definitely want to keep that. So that's good. That's just something I wanted to check from earlier. Do Git. So there's, you can do like I think it's like CWD, current working directory, and then present or previous working directory, or present working directory, I think is PWD command. So I'll show you that is that. So you can see what directory you're actually in, but I also want to get a variable for your previous working directory and see if that's possible. It should save that, because if you do the cd space dash command, or if you do that command, then it should get you that previous directory. So it's storing that information somewhere. And what we're going to do is we'll echo that into this here. Forgot what I wanted to do. I want to get rid of, okay. There we go, that's where it is. Oh, okay, that's, so initial commit. I don't want to do the Nginx. Oh, that's at the very bottom. All right, so I don't want to do that again. Let's find out what, so PWD, present working directory, I think CWD, nope. All right, that's good old Google or DuckDuckGo. Oh no, this is just all types of crazy. Find previous working directory, bash. How to return the previous working directory. That's how you return to it, but old PWD. Oh, okay. So there we go. Yeah, see, it's stored somewhere. It's always like stored somewhere because it's like, how does it remember? How does it know where to go to? So, uh-huh. All right. So I can echo. I should be able to echo that. There we go. Opt. So what we'll do is we know it's node boilerplate, right? If I cd to obfuscate 3, and then I do this command again, so it should give me the full command. Huh. How can I write that? I think we could, yeah, I think we could write it like that. We're making an assumption here. So hold on to your pants there. So by doing this, we're gonna make an assumption that you're running it from the right directory and everything should be fine. So static, where's the static stuff at? Jesus. Okay, yeah, I have to find it beforehand. All right, great. So what are we gonna name this variable? Old PWD. And then that shouldn't get too confusing. We have to do $sign to execute this. Echo old PWD. So that should work there. And then, so yeah. And then I'll just do $sign old PWD. Let me just do older. I like that better. Just in case it's like not case sensitive or anything like that. I don't know enough in my head. I don't know it off the top of my head to be like, oh, it's case sensitive. So I can use the same, I can spell it the same way and it'll be okay, but I don't want to mess with that right now. All right. Hey, we're at the 2 hour mark. This is the last thing we got to do, guys. All right. Well, let's look at our output here. I mean, it's nice. We got some pretty cool stuff. The branch master has no upstream branch. To push the current branch, set the remote as upstream. Push origin to master. Okay, so we got to add that command in there. Question is where. So we'll just run this. Git commit. Okay. So when we do our push, instead of just a regular push, we have to do this. Push set upstream to master. Hopefully it runs that properly. Created. Everything looks good there. Hey man, I think this is gonna be good though. I think this is gonna be really good. All right, cool. So let's rm-rf. I think we do lowercase. Yeah. And then cd to node.js boilerplate. Let's go ahead and run our script. Boom. Enter project name. What's the project name gonna be? What it gonna be? Valid, chars, letters, numbers. Yeah, that's what it is. Obfuscate. Oof. 4. Got a whole bunch of deleting to do after this. Project name, description, coding, stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't care if I spelled it wrong. All right, system valid, WC0. And then application production. Okay, boom. I should know what's coming next. Token string. GH. Okay. See what it does. Oh, come on. It should be good. It'll have that issue with the connection, but that's just bullshit. Opt static file. So, but the only thing I don't like, it asks for the username and password. So let's put that in. Let's run it through. We'll fix the other stuff on the next go round. You gotta know when to stop, guys, especially when you're starting to get like a little bit frustrated with shit stuff in terms of the tediousness of it all. Branch master set up to track remote master from origin. Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but let's look at our repos here. Jesus, got so many repos now. Look at that. All right, let's do. Oh, okay, cool. Nice description. Initial commit. Okay, all right, guys. This is what makes it all worth it. Package.json. All right, cool. It puts everything we need in there. Does the readme? Hey, look at that. Oh, gotta spell that correctly, right? Who gives a fudge though? System confs. All right. Ecosystem config, MongoDB config. If I look at my MongoDB, all the names are in there. Port numbers, port number is in there. System vars. Oh, okay. Well, that's not valid JSON. It doesn't like that, but whatever. We'll change that. All right. And then ecosystem config. Yeah, that's good. Oh, look at that. Guys, yeah, we did it. We're doing it. Core.js. Oh, there's a missing thing here, but we know why that's missing. Core.js. Mm. Why is that not there? All right, cool. Something to fix. I'm probably gonna take a little swig of water here, and then fix all these problems and delete all these extra repos after a while. But you guys can see everything here. It's yeah, I think we're pretty much finished with. We're almost finished with this script. We'll finish it on the next stream definitely, and get it knocked out, and then move on with it and start actually using it as the primer or starting point for our next project. But hey, guys, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Thanks for Richard Dixon dropping by, Gabe dropping by. I really do appreciate you guys, and really do appreciate everybody that does join the stream and watches the playbacks. As always, thank you very much. Peace.